Jimin jealous after seeing Jungkook and Taehyung's intimate moment on stage? ARMY left in tears. Before we go any further, ask yourself this. Have you ever watched a BTS performance and suddenly felt that one small gesture meant far more than it appeared to mean? If you have, stay until the end, because this story is filled with emotional moments, subtle expressions, unexpected reactions, and one question that has left ARMY talking. Was Jimin actually jealous when he saw Jungkook and Taehyung sharing such a warm moment on stage? If this emotional BTS story makes you curious, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and tell us in the comments what you think. Did Jimin look jealous, surprised, protective, or was ARMY simply reading too much into a powerful stage moment? Your answer could be completely different from everyone else's. The atmosphere had already been electric before Jungkook and Taehyung stepped into the center of attention. The crowd was loud, thousands of light sticks moving like waves across the venue, while the members continued performing with the confidence and energy that ARMY had come to expect from BTS. Yet somewhere in the middle of all that noise, something changed. It was not a dramatic announcement. There was no official statement. Nobody stepped forward and explained what was happening. Instead, it was one of those tiny moments that lasted only seconds. Jungkook turned toward Taehyung. Taehyung smiled. The two exchanged a look. Then they moved closer during the performance, creating the kind of spontaneous interaction that immediately made the audience erupt. For ARMY watching from the crowd, it was adorable. For fans watching through clips online, it was unforgettable. But then some viewers noticed Jimin. And suddenly, the entire moment was interpreted differently. Jimin appeared to look toward Jungkook and Taehyung. His expression seemed to change for just a moment. The smile that had been on his face appeared softer, then more restrained. His eyes followed the interaction before he turned his attention elsewhere. That tiny reaction was enough. Within hours, fans began asking questions. Was Jimin jealous? Was he simply surprised? Was he teasing them? Was he emotional because of something unrelated? Or was the entire thing simply a playful moment between members that fans accidentally transformed into a dramatic story? Those questions are precisely what make this fictional fan story so emotional. Because when it comes to BTS, the smallest gesture can create the biggest conversation. The moment Jungkook and Taehyung appeared particularly close on stage, the crowd responded immediately. Their chemistry, friendship, and playful interactions have long been popular among fans, and whenever the two share a spontaneous moment, social media can explode within minutes. Jungkook laughed. Taehyung leaned closer. The audience screamed. And Jimin watched. At first, there seemed to be nothing unusual about it. Jimin continued performing. He smiled. He moved with the choreography. He interacted with the audience. But then came the expression that fans could not stop discussing. For a brief moment, Jimin looked toward Jungkook and Taehyung with an expression that some viewers interpreted as sadness. It was subtle. So subtle that another viewer might have seen nothing unusual at all. But the internet does not need much to start a conversation. A few screenshots appeared. Then short clips. Then slowed down videos. Then fan edits. And suddenly, one question began appearing everywhere. Was Jimin jealous? Some fans believed the answer was obvious. Others strongly disagreed. And some simply found the entire situation emotional because it reminded them of the complicated beauty of friendship. The truth, however, is much more complicated. A facial expression lasting a few seconds cannot reveal everything happening inside someone's mind. Jimin has not publicly confirmed that he was jealous in such a situation, and there is no factual evidence establishing that a particular stage expression represented jealousy. This story is therefore best understood as an imagined, fan-created scenario inspired by the emotional possibilities surrounding a BTS performance rather than a report of a confirmed real-life incident. And perhaps that distinction makes the story even more interesting. Because imagination allows us to ask the question that reality cannot answer. What if Jimin really was struggling with his emotions? What would he have been thinking? Maybe he was not angry. Maybe he was not upset. Maybe he was simply watching two people he cared about sharing a beautiful moment, and suddenly realizing how quickly everything around them was changing. Imagine the scene. The music continued. The audience screamed. Jungkook and Taehyung laughed together. Jimin stood only a short distance away. For everyone else, it was entertainment. For Jimin, perhaps, it was a reminder of the years they had spent together. Years of rehearsals. Years of exhaustion. Years of laughter. Years of arguments and reconciliation. Years of standing beside one another under enormous pressure. BTS's story has never been just about music. For fans, the emotional power of the group often comes from the relationships between the members and the sense that they have grown together through countless experiences. That is why a simple look can feel so powerful. A smile can become a memory. A hug can become a headline. A few seconds of eye contact can become an entire story. And in this imagined scenario, Jimin's reaction became the emotional center of the night. Perhaps the first clue was not his face at all. Perhaps it was the way he became quieter. While Jungkook and Taehyung were laughing, Jimin seemed to step back slightly. He watched. Then he smiled. But it was the kind of smile that left people wondering whether it was genuine happiness or an attempt to hide something deeper. That ambiguity was what made fans emotional. Because jealousy does not always look like anger. Sometimes jealousy looks like silence. Sometimes it looks like smiling while wishing someone would look your way. Sometimes it looks like pretending that nothing matters. And sometimes it is not jealousy at all. It is simply exhaustion. It is affection. It is nostalgia. It is a private thought that nobody outside the person can truly understand. This is where the imagined story becomes more emotional. Suppose Jimin looked at Jungkook and Taehyung and felt a small sense of being left out. Not because he wanted to control them. Not because he disliked their friendship. But because he remembered how many times he had stood beside Jungkook. How many jokes they had shared. How many difficult moments they had survived. How many times they had supported one another. Maybe, in that fictional moment, Jimin wondered whether he still had the same place in Jungkook's world. It would be a painfully human thought. And it would not necessarily make him a bad person. People can feel complicated emotions even toward the people they love. That is what makes friendship so real. You can be happy for someone and still feel lonely. You can celebrate someone else's happiness and still wish they had noticed you. You can smile while your heart feels strangely heavy. And perhaps that is why ARMY imagined tears. Because the scene seemed to contain everything at once. Joy. Friendship. Nostalgia. Uncertainty. And the possibility of misunderstanding. The audience continued cheering. Jungkook smiled at Taehyung. Taehyung laughed. Then something unexpected happened. Jungkook suddenly looked toward Jimin. For one brief second, their eyes met. The imaginary tension disappeared. Jimin smiled. Jungkook smiled back. And the entire emotional story changed. Maybe Jimin had never been jealous. Maybe he had simply been waiting for that look. A reminder. A silent message. You are still here. You still matter. We are still together. That one moment could explain why fans became emotional. Because sometimes the most powerful communication does not require words. The fictional scenario continues with Jungkook approaching Jimin during a transition in the performance. Jimin initially looks away. Jungkook laughs softly. Then he moves closer. Jimin finally turns toward him. The two exchange a brief smile. Nothing dramatic happens. No confession. No confrontation. No argument. Just a simple moment of reassurance. And somehow, that makes the imagined scene more powerful than any dramatic confrontation could have been. Because if there had been an argument, the story would have been easy. But there was no argument. There was only uncertainty. And uncertainty is what makes people emotional. Fans began imagining what might have happened behind the scenes. Perhaps Jimin had joked about Jungkook and Taehyung becoming too close. Perhaps Jungkook teased him. Perhaps Taehyung laughed. Perhaps all three understood that it was nothing serious. Perhaps the members themselves were completely comfortable, while fans were analyzing every second. That is the funny thing about fandom culture. A moment that lasts 5 seconds can inspire hours of discussion. A glance can become a theory. A smile can become a debate. A hug can become a trending topic. And sometimes the most emotional interpretation is not necessarily the factual one. Still, in this fan-created story, Jimin could not completely hide his feelings. Later in the performance, he appeared more energetic. He danced harder. He smiled more. He interacted with the crowd. But every once in a while, his eyes returned toward Jungkook. And every time he did, fans noticed. Was he checking on him? Was he teasing him? Was he jealous? Or was he simply watching his friend? Nobody could know. But that uncertainty became the hook. What exactly was happening inside Jimin's mind? The answer remained hidden. Until the imagined backstage scene. After the performance ended, the members returned backstage. The energy was still high. Everyone was laughing. Staff members were moving around. The members were drinking water and catching their breath. Jungkook was still smiling. Taehyung was talking. Jimin was quiet. Then Jungkook noticed. He walked over. "Are you okay?" Jimin smiled. "Of course." Jungkook looked at him. "You sure?" Jimin nodded. But Jungkook did not immediately walk away. He stayed. That detail is important in the fictional narrative. Because sometimes the people closest to us can recognize when something is wrong even when we say nothing. Jungkook sat nearby. Taehyung eventually joined them. For a moment, nobody said anything. Then Jimin laughed. The tension disappeared. Taehyung joked about something that had happened on stage. Jungkook laughed. Jimin laughed too. And the imaginary jealousy that fans had created suddenly seemed almost meaningless. Maybe the three of them had never been fighting. Maybe there had never been a problem. Maybe Jimin's expression had simply been misunderstood. And yet, the emotional power of the story remained. Because it was never really about jealousy. It was about friendship. It was about the fear of being left behind. It was about watching people you love grow closer to others. It was about learning that love and friendship are not limited resources. Someone else receiving affection does not mean you have lost yours. That may be the most important message hidden inside this fictional BTS story. Jimin does not have to lose Jungkook simply because Jungkook is close to Taehyung. Taehyung does not have to choose between his friendships. Jungkook does not have to divide his affection into percentages. Friendship does not work like that. And perhaps that is why the imagined ending becomes so touching. Instead of confrontation, there is laughter. Instead of anger, there is understanding. Instead of jealousy, there is reassurance. The three members stand together. Jungkook puts an arm around Taehyung, then reaches toward Jimin. For a second, the three are together. The audience is no longer there. The cameras are no longer there. The stage lights are gone. There is only friendship. And if fans were watching this imagined moment, perhaps many would cry. Not because something terrible happened, but because nothing terrible had to happen. Sometimes the most emotional stories are about people realizing that they are still connected after a moment of uncertainty. The internet, however, would continue debating. Some fans would say Jimin looked jealous. Others would say he was simply tired. Some would argue that his expression was playful. Others would insist there was hidden emotion behind it. But there is an important lesson in all of this. We should be careful about turning imagined interpretations into facts. Disclaimer: this video is a fictional, fan-created story made for entertainment purposes only. The events, conversations, emotions, reactions, and interactions involving Jimin, Jungkook, and Taehyung described in this story are imagined and should not be considered factual or confirmed events. There is no intention to claim or reveal the private thoughts, feelings, relationships, or personal lives of the BTS members. Any similarities to real events, performances, expressions, or interactions are purely coincidental or used as creative inspiration. This content is not affiliated with, endorsed by, or officially connected to BTS, HYB, Bigot Music, or their representatives. The purpose of this content is to entertain fans and encourage discussion. Please do not treat speculation, fan interpretations, or fictional scenarios as verified news. We encourage viewers to respect the privacy and dignity of all BTS members and to rely on official sources for factual information.